So here we are at SalesComp 25, and Joe, I sought you out. So I knew you were going to be here. I was super excited, and I'm even more excited that you're coming back to do an extended conversation, have extended conversation with me on riding the big wheel. But I couldn't let you get away without having some initial conversation. So I first would just like for you to talk to people a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do.
Okay, well, I am a long-term compensation benefits total rewards professional. Actually started out with a job with the government as an economist and translated that into a job as comp and benefits director and then on to VP of total comp and benefits at some major corporations. After a long career doing that, I ended up going off on my own and leveraging those contacts and relationships and all the knowledge that I had into offering my services as my own company.
Yeah, and you've been doing that for how long now?
I started my company in 2014 and it really worked out for me. It worked out because I had, and I don't mean to brag here, but I had enough of a reputation as a person who was an expert in this field that I was brought into some very messy situations and asked to straighten it out and worked with top leadership, worked with the boards of directors, handled their comp committees, a number of special projects, implemented HR systems, so forth.
So, a lot of people that are listening could be in a very similar position to what you were in about 14 years ago. So, think about if they're thinking about making that change, going from corporate to entrepreneurship, what are some things that you wish you had known then that you've learned over time?
Wish that I had known then was really the focus that one has to put into developing business. It is a whole time consuming effort that you don't get paid for. One of the things I quickly learned was don't waste a lot of time in putting together proposals because they take a lot of time and effort. You're giving away a lot of free information and you're not getting paid for it. If you're in competition with several other companies, really think long and hard before putting that work into it.
So, today, are you speaking today?
I've already spoken.
You spoke today. Oh, that's right, because we overlapped a little bit.
We did.
So, give us some highlights about what you discussed today and what is it that you would want people to know or take away from the talk you had?
The talk that I had was on governance and sales compensation operations and the importance of having a roadmap and agreement front end before you run into problems on how to manage sales compensation issues that you know are going to come up. The things happen during the year. You're going to have people quit, become sick, have to go on leave. You want to reorganize your territories. Just a lot of things that you don't have to be a seer to see that are going to be down the road. And having those things discussed and thought out in advance just makes life a whole lot easier, makes the operation be less bureaucratic because you've got guidance that you've already talked about. And that it is very important to have that in place. So even when the crisis occurs, you've got an action plan of how to respond. And that really makes a much happier organization. It creates a sense of fairness among people. It doesn't look like it was an ad hoc decision favoring one group versus another. It creates collaboration with other parts of the organization because as a total rewards professional, I quickly made friends in every organization I worked with, whether as a contracted consultant or as an executive comp head, with the finance department, with the legal department, with the employee relations department. These are all very critical functions.
So, one final question I want to ask you. With all the experience you have and all of the total rewards professionals you've worked with, what would you say makes for a very successful total rewards person in that job?
Certainly, it's knowing the work knowing all the tentacles that Total Rewards touches. When you're looking at a problem, it often takes multiple inputs to get to the right balanced answer. If you're presenting something to the board comp committee, they're expecting you've done all the research. You don't go in and find out you forgot to look into the tax code and that this is going to create a huge, unexpected consequence. You have to cover all the bases. Equally important is relationships, developing the trust and team effort with the whole group, and that leads to developing trust with the people who are actually in these rewards programs.
Well, Joe Mueller, thank you very much, and we'll see you again on Riding the Big Wheel.
Thank you.